Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. I am about to do some fancy schmancy economy management. But first, let me just double check and make sure I turned all my... You doing okay there, Army of Latin America? Let me just make sure I didn't end up replacing these. Alright, so we're going to take some of our small armies and just put tanks in them. We're going to put tanks in them, and they're going to have tanks. We're going to have all the tanks. Everyone's going to be so pleased to have a tank. You get a tank, and you get a tank. Everybody gets a tank. And no more siege artillery. We're also going to upgrade them to 20 size. That's going to increase their... we're going to put some light tanks in them as well, and that's going to increase their ability to take territory, which is, you know, the thing what armies do. Heavy tanks. Light tanks. Oop. Nope, that's heavy tanks. Hold on. Shabamzo. And we'll drop those off. Second Army of Indonesia already has heavy tanks, so all you need is light tanks. So we'll put those in Picardy. And then the First Army of Indonesia needs upgrades as well. Put those in Normandy. And we'll put them all in Normandy. Perfect. Industrialization in this game becomes something of a self-fulfilling prophecy, the way, you know, the way you concentrate industrialization in areas where you've got labor available, but in turn that creates immigration pull to those areas that leads to them having more population available and becoming more industrialized. This is Normandy now. We got a huge industrial sector here. Oh. A social democrat heading up the rural folk. Okay, that doesn't actually impact me that much. The battleship hoax. The journal reports that a group of rascal academics have disguised themselves as visiting members of the Jodhpuri royal family. Officers at the Normandy naval base believed the deception and offered them a tour of the fleet. The incident has caused great embarrassment to the armed forces. The officers present welcomed the hoaxers with an honor guard, and lacking any knowledge of Jodhpuri customs and fashions, they were unable to see through the disguise and raised the Ankol flag by mistake. The hoaxers then proceeded to speak in gibberish and perform fabricated Jodhpuri ceremonies to bless the fleet. Arrest them at once, happy armed forces, angry intelligentsia, or bunga bunga. Okay. Never heard that phrase used in this context before. Angry intelligentsia, angry armed... happy armed... intelligentsia, angry armed forces. Armed forces are fine, but on the other hand, I am suppressing the intelligentsia, and I won't be unhappy if the intelligentsia become mad. So arrest them at once. Shabamza. You're coming with me. Alright, so does the change of the rural folk actually impact anything for me? It does not. So that's pretty cool. Otherwise, I think we can pretty safely continue with our politics as they are. But I'm also noticing that, like in my previous run, as France, I'm experiencing a little bit of an oil shortage, because a lot of my territories that have discoverable oil don't have oil rigs, or have discovered oil, don't have oil rigs. So I think we're going to we're at the very least going to annex Tripolitania. So in order to do that, we're going to reduce their autonomy. Right now, this is going to take me over 25, but I'm not currently doing anything, so I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. That's going to turn them into a puppet, and then after 5 years, we'll be able to turn them into a dominion, we'll be able to annex them. They will accept. Bring on the infamy. Yes, this causes a shortage of influence, which is causing me a prestige penalty, but again, this is only going to go on for another, little bit of a year, so I'm not too worried about it. So let's look into our market. Yeah, oil is super duper tight. Where's all the consumption coming from? It's mostly motor industries, fertilizer plants, but there's like a bunch more somewhere down here. We got like a lot of different line items. I guess we're just using a certain amount of... Hold on, how is this possible? We got 10K at the top here. Oh yeah, I guess these are all adding up to, about, yeah, well, it is what it is, I guess. Well, for now, we've got to import oil. So where can we get it from? The Swedish market. That's surprising. And the Russian market. We can get it from both of those locations. Austria as well. I'm going to avoid buying from Britain and Spain, but Brazil is a reasonable country to buy from. We'll go ahead and protect domestic supply with oil, so that should drive oil prices down, and that should help us in the medium term. We need way more coal for the things we're trying to do, so let's go ahead and... Oh, that's right! I finally got access to diesel pump. But of course, this costs us a huge pile of oil, which is not viable in the short term. Except for the gold mines. The gold mines can produce oil. I'm sorry, you can make them publicly traded. I don't necessarily need to make them publicly traded, though. Let's make some more coal mines. Where can we... Oh my gosh, we've got a ton of coal available in Rhone. Is that wise? These are dangerous, not very well-paying jobs. But it would be a ton of coal. Let's do it. We'll just max it out, and we'll build like 10 levels of railways, just to make absolutely sure. I don't need that many levels of railways, but I do need the railways. Oh my gosh, do I actually have 4 pages worth of construction? I guess I really do. Golly, that's really impressive. I'm really impressed. I impressed myself. Like the protagonist of Disco Elysium with a sword. I impressed myself. So, that should take care of the coal problem. We've currently got... We're increasing coal output by about 1/9 now. 1/8, really. Could go to intensive wool gathering. That's going to produce less meat and more fertilizer. It's going to cost grain. I don't think that's going to be productive. It certainly doesn't think it's going to be productive. Gosh, these gosh, what are they called? Oh man, I'm having a real smart livestock ranches. A real smart moment here. These livestock ranches are not productive. I think they've got to. I think at least some of them have got to go. At least the one on Corsica. We don't need. You don't need to be operating. Just a few that are really productive. It's kind of a shame. Oh, this one needs a better production method is what it needs. I don't know. I'm starting to feel like livestock ranches are still a little bit just like totally dysfunctional buildings in the overall design of the game. That kind of slaughterhouses produce a lot more meat. They'd be a lot more productive. Cost a little bit of electricity. Let's do it. Cool. Put up some electric fences. That'll be easier. Oh, they can use refrigerated storage. I think you think they're going to be more productive. They are? Interesting. Well, that helped a little bit. What about refrigerated rail cars? That's going to add a transportation cost. How is the price of transportation in the market? It's mostly really solid. Is this my territory? No, that's Dahomey. Yeah, I think the price of transportation is really, really reasonable in a lot of these zones. So, let's go ahead and do it. Rhône is having a little bit of a hard time. Ditto Lorraine and Orléans-Berry. Let's go ahead and throw a few more railways in those zones. Oh my gosh, Orléans-Berry has 1 level of railways. What about Lorraine? Don't tell me you only have 1 level of railways as well. No, you have quite a few. Wait a minute. Is this the... Yeah, no, these are very expensive. All right, cool. And then yeah, we'll go to refrigerated rail cars. That'll make them more productive. That's actually made them quite a lot more productive. Go to intensive wool gathering, that'll reduce their productivity. Cool, alright. So that's nice. Have we got a lot of meat in this market that we could sell abroad? No, we're actually pretty well balanced on meat. It's pretty solid, pretty solid. Feeling overall pretty good about this situation. Getting a lot of wood from trade routes. Do we need to be doing that? Are those trade routes productive? Export trade route of silk is unproductive. Wow, we got some unproductive trade routes over here. I didn't even notice this stuff. Ooh, this one's real bad. Sorry, Brazil. I want you in my market, but not that bad. They're sending wood to us. That's what's happening. And how's the impact on my forestry industries of that? They're mostly productive. I'm going to get as many of these. I think we're mostly on electrics. Yeah, I'm going to get as many of these on electric sawmills as I can. Cool, and that's made them more productive as well. We've got a couple of diplomatic plays over here that should be managed. We got Hesse and Hamburg, both in the midst of communist uprisings. Can't get a subject. Can't get a subject. So, don't care. And over in Hesse, can't get a subject. Can't get a subject. Don't care. You do you, countries. You have fun by yourselves. The rising standard of living due to the reduction in taxes has actually been really, really striking and had a huge impact on both radicalization and loyalism. So I'm pretty pleased about that overall. So let's go back to working on the market and what we can continue to output. Still a small shortage of glass, but we're mostly okay on that. Coal has gone way, way up, obviously, since we did a massive coal expansion. I want to build more levels of war machine industries because I want the ability to flex more strongly in that way. Oh, interesting. These will be way less productive, they think. But probably that's a result of needing... of having... of this electricity input being absurdly high. I should pre-build the necessary power infrastructure in those territories to make that happen. So what do we need? We need... it's going to add... per level, we're going to add 30 electricity here. So I'm going to need... each of my... yep, there we go. Each of my power plants produces 100 electricity. So, Provence... I'm going to need one level of power plants, Oran 2, Algiers and Constantine 1. So we'll start with that. Provence, 1 level, Algiers, or Oran 2, Algiers and Constantine 1. Languedoc 2, French Low Countries 3, Picardy 1. This is the best way I can remember this, friends. Languedoc 2, French Low Countries 3, Picardy 1. I'm just skipping all the places that are really huge. Guyenne, I'm going to need 3. Champagne 2, Franche-Comté 2, Lorraine 2. So 2 each in Lorraine, Franche-Comté, and 3 in Guyenne. Two in Lorraine and Franche-Comté, 3 in Guyenne. All right. And Champagne, 2 in Champagne. 2 in Champagne, 1 in Inner Morocco, 3 in Ile-de-France. 2 in Champagne, 3 in Ile-de-France, and 1 in Inner Morocco. Alright, so that's all the power plants we'll need for for the areas with very small amounts of steel infrastructure. What about the areas with a ton? For Menanjou, flipping over is going to cost us 144 electricity. That's absurd. So, not 144, 1.44k. So that's going to take 15 levels in Menanjou. So it's about 5 levels per 15 things. Yeah, that... Hold on. DegenCat math hour time. If it's 30 electricity per level, we're going to need about 1 level for every 3. Yeah, so that's what that is. All right. So 15 in Menanjou, 7 in Aquitaine, 7 each in Aquitaine and Burgundy. 15 in Menanjou, 7 each in Aquitaine and Burgundy. Next, we're going to need 12 in Brittany. Well, really, 14 in Brittany, 12 in Auvergne-Limousin. And 12 in Auvergne-Limousin. We're just straight doubling the number of power plants in Auvergne-Limousin. Alright, Poitou-Saintonge. Did I start working on these ones already? Did I queue these ones in yet? Not yet. Alright. Something going on in Saxe-Meiningen, but I can't pay any attention to that right now. I got economy development to do. We're going to do 4 in Poitou-Saintonge, 5 in Alsace-Lorraine. And Rhône. 4 in Poitou-Saintonge, 5 each in Rhône and Alsace-Lorraine. Rhône. 4 in Poitou-Saintonge. And then I think that's basically it. We need 14 levels in Normandy. Alright, and that's all of our power needs. We got oil in Chad, which is wonderful. Encourage this trend. Oil is the future. One oil rig. Wadai is holding part of Chad, right? Yeah. We're going to need to steal that. We're going to need to do a big imperialism over here. What if we go ahead and conquer this? It's only 5.2. We could easily do it. Cool. So we'll queue that in for a year from now or whatever. All right. So with that being done, that's going to require a huge, another basically. We're going to bring coal up to like 500 things. First of all, let's just go ahead and get this one oil rig all the way up to the top so that we don't have to worry about it. And then we're going to need a bunch more coal. Any more places to build gold mines? No. I like gold, okay? I like gold a lot. So Congo is a good place. Congo Oriental is a good place to build coal mines. Congo as well. French East Angola, we can get a few. Bungashari, we can get maybe 4 levels there, should be just fine. And otherwise, in Africa, we can get a couple more in Sahara, a couple more in Timbuktu. And that's kind of all we got in Africa, pretty much. Outer Hausaland we don't have any labor available there. What about... No, not really. Alright, well, that's all the space for coal infrastructure we've got, so that's going to have to be enough for our coal needs. That's about getting us up to 500, so I'm hoping that'll be sufficient. What else? Steel is still tight and glass is still tight. Gosh, glass is really tight. Well, steel we're going to solve, so I'm not going to do anything about that because we've already got the necessary power infrastructure under construction to make sure that works. Prussia's offering the transfer of subjects for a help against revolutionary Brunswick. I must accept. Truthfully, I must. In the sense that I love having subjects. There we go. Alright. Now, what else do we have going on? There's a Saxon religious revolt. I'm just going to... that. We got another thing going on in... in Congo. Can't get a subject out of this, unfortunately. So we're just going to have to leave it. We're just going to have to let it be. Alright, let's get this... Let's get going here. What are growth industries right now? I gotta be able to export liquor somewhere. Aranya, Austria, Italy, gold beer. That's a start. What if I really dramatically reduced my liquor output of my buildings? Italy is embargoing us. Italy, do you have a problem, sir? Why are you big mad? Why are you big mad? Maybe I should change your regime. Oh, everyone disliked this. Maybe I should humiliate them. That would be entertaining, but it doesn't necessarily needed. Well, we can just go ahead and stop selling you our liquor then. So what would be the impact if we reduced our liquor output? We're currently getting 16.4k from food industries. If we drop the liquor output... That's not the one. This would significantly save on glass. It would add a significantly increased grocery input. I think that might actually be much more productive for these industries. Where are groceries in the price scale? They're pretty high up. Yeah, I think we're actually going to go back to a lower production method for food industries to increase grocery output and reduce liquor output, because we can't sell the frickin' liquor anyway. We're producing so much tobacco right now, and the only people who will buy it are the Austrians. Fruit. We got tons of it. Aranya, Austria, Sweden. So this is why I built up all this bureaucracy. And then... what else? Sugar. We got so much of. Hey, there's arc welding. Gotta be able to export that, right? Austria again. Hey, Austria, you want to be in my customs union? Well, everyone wants to pick a fight with the big man, but let me tell you, the thing about picking a fight with the big man is you gotta win. You gotta be smart about it. So, let me see, what else? What else? We're still producing way more for Revolutionary Brunswick. Where's grain in all this? I feel like grain should not be this high up. Well, grain's not actually that high up. Grain is pretty affordable. All of this stuff is very affordable. Someone's got to want lead, right? Mostly Russia and Sweden. I'm kind of shocked that grain is so little needed in the world. What about fish? You can't tell me no one wants fish, just the Austrians. Seems like Austrians will buy anything. Not buy as in be fooled by. Will literally purchase. United States support obligation. I don't, no, don't care. I've achieved another achievement. This is the same one I got last time. But this one I achieved it much more directly. The L'Allemagne c'est rien, which means Germany, it's nothing, for not letting Germany form before 1930. Gosh, it's really late in history. The duel. Octave de Beauharnais, a brave defensive vanguardist, and Patrice Mazel, a persistent, erudite, experienced naval commander, legitimist, are going to have a fight. The aura surrounding their two figures is like something out of a romantic novel. Patrice Mazel smiles. He's been rehearsing this moment before falling asleep. Octave de Beauharnais, you are a friendless bastard. Your insults cannot go unanswered. Pick a weapon of choice, and we shall meet tomorrow. Let them fight. One of them will die, probably Patrice. We should stop it. Both of them get unpopular. Or we should ban dueling completely, which angers the armed forces but makes the intelligentsia happy. Let's let them fight. One of these dudes is gonna die. Cool. All right. So that's good. Oh, man. I hope he was about to get a promotion, but we'll find out in a second. Who's low on command capacity? Nobody. All right. Well, that didn't impact me at all. Great. Do a promotion. The armed forces demand the promotion of Brigadier General Joseph Lamartine, toting his history of loyal and effective service. So many medals adorned his jacket that one could scarcely see the fabric beneath, but it was not yet enough. Chest puffed out with pride, the general smiled as he imagined the look on Ferdinand Foch's face when the general learned of his imminent ascension. The rivalry was legendary among the officers. Joseph Lamartine, he's an integralist, charismatic, a defensive strategist, and a surveyor. All around a good general to promote. Joseph de Lamartine has earned it. +2 armed forces opinion. Or the armed forces will not force our hand, he becomes less popular, and the armed forces get unhappy. You know, I'm going to go with that first one. I love having armed forces opinion. I love it when the army supports the government. Yeah, a lot of countries will be willing to help us out, but to be completely honest, I don't need their help. Man, Great Britain just seems to really be having a hard time in New South Wales. I don't think that's where New South Wales is at all. I think you're lying to me. Hashtag maps without New Zealand. Yes. Nobody wants to get involved in any of our situations. Oh, and there's a proletarian revolt in Canada. Why are all the revolts only Manitoba? This keeps happening this way. Hold up. You want to be my subject? No, actually, what I really want is to get Canada as a subject. I would be tickled, absolutely pink, if I could get... No, I can't do that. It would be very, very funny if I could, though. Just like stealing protectorates from Great Britain, dominions from Great Britain, all over the world, just shoving them in my bag, stacking them up in Versailles like firewood, wall to wall, floor to ceiling, former British dominions. Be very funny. All right, I'm going to declare neutrality over here. We don't need this. We don't need this. Sorry, I know someone might have interest in these, but it's just a ton of different countries declaring neutrality in every diplomatic play that I'm involved in. Johor, do you think you could maybe chill? All right, so which one's popped off already? All right, well, that one. Nice. All right, so the Army of Latin America will go to Johor to deal with that situation now that their war is, I guess, just straight up finished. And the Second Army of Indonesia is on their way over to here. So, you know, not my greatest organizational thing. There's the Haitian Proletarian Revolt. We might actually lose this on account of... lose it temporarily, that is, on account of just not having gotten there fast enough. Because I didn't scramble an army that was close enough. Let's see if I can get there soon enough, or will I lose to the rebels and their 33 soldiers. Okay, no, I certainly will not. That's very funny. Fascist Costa Rica. Well, sorry. One of these armies, the Second Army of Indonesia, it turns out, is going to have to... Fascist Costa Rica, how could you do me like this? How could you give me 3 different fronts? How could you? Fascist Costa Rica, what is wrong with you? Why? 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 First of all, you're doing fascism. Stop it. Second of all, you're making border corn. Stop doing that as well. Whew. Well, at least I'm glad all of our dominions and protectorates or whatnot are getting their getting all their civil wars out at once. It's kind of inconvenient, but it could be much less convenient. Ooh, a peasant revolt's happening in Wadai. What if you became my subject? No? Really? Not willing to become a subject? Imagine that. It's almost like a bunch of countries became my protectorates, and then they turned into dominions, and now they're just feeding my government piles and piles of cash, which I'm just using to cut taxes and not do stuff with. Alright. We've pretty much got all of our power plants built, so it's time to increase the steel industry. Shazam. It is not at all productive. We are really dramatically overproducing steel, but that means we can sell some abroad. Really thought there was going to be more demand for steel. How's the investment pool? Investment pool is still increasing at an alarming rate. I don't know, man. I think I might have misplayed with the steel situation. 2 arms. How's coal? How's coal, first of all? Let's look into coal. If I can find it. If I can freaking find it. It's here. Alright, coal is still very expensive in our market. So let's take a quick run at local power prices and see how that's doing. Local power prices are basically holding. Definitely need a couple more levels of power plants in Savoy. Some in the maybe 2 each in Lorraine and Alsace-Lorraine, 3 in Menanjou and Savoy. I'm gonna see if that works. Easier to do it this way, I guess. No, you're not fully employed. What about you? Ditto with you. Well, why are you so... Why is power so... How is it that power is so expensive in these areas, but these power plants can't employ? This is silly. Very silly. It's very silly, don't you think? It's rather silly, don't you think? Alright. You know, we haven't done all that much this episode, but we've done a lot of economy management, and I think that's going to be all there is for today. So yeah, sorry, it hasn't been that much of an exciting one, but you know, it's important to keep retooling your economy for the modern world. So for now, I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun as well, and I will see you on the other side.